Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to make a fun peekaboo distressed Halloween mug. So I'm starting out with I think this is a 12-ounce camper mug, and I'm going to paint it with some black acrylic paint. I'm using my favorite brand of acrylic paint, which is the Delta Creative Ceramcoat brand. You can get this at Joann's, on Amazon, at Target. It's the best acrylic paint ever. If you watch my channel, you know that I will go hard for this paint. So I'm going to do a nice black coat of paint here, and I'm going to let that dry for about 30 minutes. Once the paint is dry, we can go in with our glitter glue. I'm going to use the CRYSTALAC glitter glue to adhere my glitter, but of course feel free to use whatever adhesive you like the best. It doesn't really matter. And once I've got this glitter glue on, we're going to go in with our glitter. I'm going to use Levi from Peachy Olive Glitters. It's a really cool chunky cut, very, very dimensional. It's got some like chromy shifty vibes to it, some purples, yellows, greens. It's a really cool Halloween like spooky color. Once I've got my glitter on, I'm going to roll my cup in my scrapbook paper to push that glitter down and get it to lie flat. This is a chunky cut of glitter, like I said, so we really want to make sure that we can get it lying as flat as possible before we add epoxy or anything, because we don't want to have to do a ton of sanding. I loathe sanding, so anything I can do to make the sanding process and smoothing process a little bit easier, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to tap my glitter down to get it to lie flat, and then I'm going to let my glitter glue dry for at least 2 hours, and then I'll come back and seal my glitter using a 50-50 mix of that same CRYSTALAC glitter glue and water, and I'm going to brush that on, trying to go all in the same direction. Again, pushing that glitter down the best I can so that when we go in and add our epoxy, we don't have glitter lifting and poking up and just being generally annoying. I let that layer of glitter glue dry for 2 hours, and then I added my first 2 coats of epoxy. I used the Flynn Sisters Supply Shop Fast Cure epoxy for both of my coats, and they were about 15 to 20 milliliters. I'm waiting about 4 hours in between each of those coats as well. So now at this point, our cup is pretty smooth. I am going to do some sanding to smooth out the tumbler as much as I can before we do this peekaboo and all of our distressing. Okay, so now that our tumbler is sanded, smooth, and cleaned with our rubbing alcohol, we can start to add our stencils. So I cut these little bat shapes out of my stencil vinyl. I got these from Creative Fabrica, and I'm just going to place them kind of randomly scattered around the entire tumbler. We are going to keep these around when we do our distressing, but some of them will get erased when we do the distressing, like we'll just see partial shapes. Anyway, you'll see that a little bit later. Basically what I'm doing here is just filling up as much space as I can with the bats, and then we'll have a cool little like peekaboo bat effect throughout our distressed look, if that makes sense. If you don't want to do this stuff, you absolutely don't have to. You can just distress your mug without doing the peekaboo. Doesn't matter, totally just personal preference. The first layer of paint I'm going to put down is a flat or matte black spray paint. We're going to do 2 layers here so that when we distress it, you can see that black come through from underneath. So I did the black, let that dry for about an hour, and then I came in again with my matte white spray paint, let that dry overnight, and now I'm going to go in and start doing my distressing. As you can see, my tumbler is not completely smooth. I definitely could have done a better job sanding, but that's okay because really we're going to remove the bulk of this paint. So I'm kind of just using those more rough areas on my tumbler to guide me in where to remove the paint. So if there's an area on the cup that looks really bumpy under the spray paint, I'll just remove that area of spray paint and then you won't even know that I didn't do a good job sanding. So what I'm doing here is going back and forth using my acetone and my 91% rubbing alcohol. And the rule is basically that the acetone is going to remove the bulk of your paint, and then the rubbing alcohol will clean up any of those streaks or anything that's left behind after you're done using the acetone. So I'm going to go back and forth with these and really just remove a lot of this paint. You can remove as much as you'd like. If you want to leave a lot of these areas covered up and just have a little bit of distressing, you can do that. There's really no wrong way to do this type of technique. So just go until you feel satisfied with how the design looks. And then you can remove all of your stencil vinyl to reveal your peekaboo, or as you'll see me do here, as I'm distressing, I'll remove some of those stencils and then either distress over them or distress around them. You can remove the stencils really whenever you want in the process. You just want to remember that you want some areas peekabooed, but some of them, like I said earlier, will be like partial peekaboo. So just watch what I'm doing. I think that's the easiest way to explain it. But yeah, once we're done distressing, we'll move on to our next step. So after I'm done distressing, I am going to go into another coat of epoxy, and in this coat of epoxy, I added a little bit of basic white girl just around the entire tumbler, and my camera stopped filming mid doing that, so I don't have any footage of that, but you can see here we've got just a little bit of that chunky sparkle over those distressed areas, and I think it just adds another layer of dimension. You definitely don't have to do that step if you don't want to, but as you guys know, I'm always an advocate for more glitter being better. So now that I've got a coat of epoxy over my paint, I'm going to add this bleach spot decal from the Vinyl Cottage, and this is going to serve as the background for our main decal. So I'm just going to place that over an area of my tumbler just on one side. It doesn't really matter. Cut away all of this excess that's kind of hanging over the edges, and then we'll go in with our clear decal. So this decal is one that I designed. It is available on my website if you'd like to use the same image, and I printed it out on my clear sticker paper. I will link that down below. It's the Avery brand, and it prints really, really high quality, very vibrant images. So I love using that. And I'm going to basically just use this like any other decal. I'm going to cut around the edges and then place it right in the middle of that bleach spot. And you can see it really pops off of that background and looks super cute with our distressing. So after I've got the decal on, I'm going to add my final 2 coats of epoxy. After that, we are all done. So here is the final tumbler design. I love how this turned out. I think it's so fun. Perfect for Halloween, not too spooky, but a little bit spooky. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know, of course, what you think down below in the comments. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. That really helps us out. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button too so you don't miss any of our new videos. Don't forget my 13 Days of Halloween series is starting at the end of this month, so you'll want to make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss any of those videos. I've got a lot of fun stuff coming your way. All right, thanks so much for watching as always, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, love you. Bye. Hello friends, thanks so much for watching this video. I want to say a huge special thank you to my elite fam, my channel members, and my subscribers. You all make this channel possible, so thank you so much for being part of the fam. If you want more exclusive content from me, you can join my elite fam at patreon.com/elitefam. You can find my tumblers and digital files on my website madebymalstudio.com. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram at madebymal_studio. Here's another video for you to check out, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Love you. Bye.